Hi, everyone. Nice to be here. So I was thinking about during lunch hour, like this workshop is kind of like, you're thinking about is the 3 course of a meal. So what I'm trying to offer here is really the starter or appetizer, and then before your main meal, which means like all the exciting development and sharing this field. And I think one of the reasons is like in the at least last 2 years, there are so many people talking about artificial intelligence, and this field has been moving so fast. And so many new development in the technology side and also the development or application, right? So I think people has been using AI in a different way, and which means different things often. So I think really the purpose in the next 4 or 5 minutes is to introduce what is AI, and also spend maybe 1 minute to talk about why everyone's talking about AI in this context. So I was thinking about, you will listen to what I'm talking right now, and you're looking at the presentation, hopefully, at the same time. And those are actually the input data points, which will check a part of the neuron in your brain to think about or make connection with your existing knowledge or expertise experience. So that actually start to, maybe making sense to you or may not. But that's how you interpret understanding the information you collected. So artificial intelligence is really trying to mimic this biological process, biological intelligence in a digital way. So the other term I usually like the most is, instead of call artificial intelligence, I would like to call it digital intelligence in a certain way. And the machine learning is a subfield of artificial intelligence. And also it's people use that also refer to statistical learning. So those are the traditional way a lot of us actually understand what is the machine learning. So which means, for example, one quick example is the email classification examples. And then it's already have the train based on the sum of the key features identified from the email. So any of the email coming in, it will identify, whether this email need to be sent to your inbox or actually should be sent to your junk email box, right? So this is the way we actually understand a lot. But this type of the traditional machine learning has a challenge to deal with the high-dimensional data. So high-dimensional data is one data point have many features. You can use the workaround to reduce the dimension and then also apply traditional methodology. But it's more challenges for unstructured data like image, video, audio, text. So that's where actually the deep learning field has been emerged. So those deep learning field actually design, or people also call it as the neural net. It has been used interchangeably. So you really, I think from this slide, you can see the type of data driving or determining the type of tools you need to use in the field. If we think about one step further or before that, is the problem defined. You need to translate the problem into a data problem. Whatever the research question you have, translate into the data problem. And from data problem, you need to understand what kind of tool you need to use or develop. So this is the very simple, if we open the black box a little bit and then think about what is artificial intelligence neural network. And this is the basic structure. It's nothing new. So the simplest neural net is logistic regression, amazingly. And then so if you want to predict the house price in different categories, you have many features you collected. So those will be designed as the input layer. And also there's the hidden layer or intermediate layer, you can call it. So those actually translate the input layer information into something, maybe school, like this is housing price example, like a family size. So they will filter down and translate those information and become insights to predict the house price a little bit more pricely. So there's a different neural net. Some are neural net designed like convolution neural net for image analysis. Some are recurrent neural net. The difference is recurrent neural net actually will take or consider the sequence of the information you have. And I think a more recent one, actually, we're all talking about like ChatGPT, especially the things it's released in the last 2 years. It's actually, right now, actually, the field, as data is a multimodal model. So what that means, actually, you will take the inputs, image, video, text, all those information as the inputs. So just pause 1 second to think about that. That's actually pretty close to how humans get information from the outside world. And that's how humans process the different type of information, right? So this is the last slide, I think, maybe one more. And so why everyone's talking about that, since I think especially thinking about time, especially talking about since the release of ChatGPT, I think the the transformer or the architecture has been published 10 years ago by a group of research from Google DeepMind. But why everyone's talking about that? I think one key driver is actually the user interface. That technology becomes so easily accessible for everyone and using the natural language to interact. I think that's really unlocked the power and potential for this field. Our world is no longer the same. You really need to rethink the way you work. And when we're talking about AI ready, it's really talking about data ready, people ready. And also, of course, I think we need to drive that very carefully and safely as well. So that's all I have. Thank you.